On the day my girlfriend married her childhood sweetheart, my in-laws logged into my account and leaked company secrets to prevent me from causing trouble, resulting in my dismissal and a debt of $300,000. By the time I returned after dealing with everything, the wedding was over, and my girlfriend begged me for forgiveness with tears in her eyes. Don't blame my parents for being ruthless. Kev and I have been friends since childhood. He has cancer and doesn't have long to live. I'm just fulfilling his small wish to get married. My in-laws stood protectively in front of her childhood sweetheart, afraid I would hit him. I nodded in support and even agreed to move out of the honeymoon suite to make room for her childhood sweetheart. My girlfriend was very happy, thinking I had finally learned to be generous, and promised, "It doesn't matter if we have a wedding or not, we already got a marriage license long ago. After this is over, I will settle down and live a good life with you." But she didn't know that the marriage license was fake, and I had already bought a plane ticket to go overseas and never come back. Why are you being so humble with him, a gold digger? If he's gone, he's gone. I'll find you a new one. There are plenty of men. Just as my girlfriend was comforting me, her childhood sweetheart, Kevin Foster, approached and mocked me. My girlfriend, Emily Carter, glared at him. "Say less. Wasn't it you who framed him and got him fired? That's why he's in a bad mood." Mr. and Mrs. Carter sat at the parents' table, watching me coldly. Mrs. Carter sneered. "What do you mean we deliberately framed him? He's in his 30s and can't even take care of something as important as a laptop. Even if it wasn't us, he would have been harmed by the competition sooner or later. Leaking company secrets is ultimately his problem. Now you're being blacklisted in the industry, you deserve it. I don't know what my daughter sees in you, a useless person." She was threatening to run away to be with you. If they hadn't stolen the laptop, hacked into the system, and leaked the secrets, I wouldn't be in this disaster today. But they showed no remorse and instead blamed me. It's laughable. Emily Carter stood in front of me, firmly saying, "Mom and Dad, stop talking. I will only acknowledge him as my husband in this lifetime." After she finished speaking, she carefully wiped the sweat from my forehead. She was still protecting me as always, but I couldn't feel any gratitude. Because I accidentally learned that the leaking of secrets was done by my in-laws, but the mastermind behind it was Emily Carter, who was protecting me in every way. Her purpose in doing so was simply to prevent me from delaying her wedding. But I didn't understand. She could have talked to me properly about marrying someone else. I could have withdrawn from this relationship and let them be together. But Emily Carter had to use the most extreme method to ruin me and then pretend to stand up for me. Thinking that I had loved such a woman for 7 years, I felt nauseous and couldn't help but gag a few times. Seeing my appearance, Kevin Foster crossed his arms and sneered, "What's wrong? Are you pregnant or something? Stop pretending to be sick to gain sympathy. I'm the real patient." Emily Carter heard this, suddenly took my hand, and asked with concern, "Did Mr. Thompson make things difficult for you? That damn old man is always targeting you, and now he dares to bully you. Don't worry, I'll avenge you. I'll bankrupt his corporation." Looking at her concerned, angry expression as she stood up for me, I felt even more disgusted. Mr. Thompson was my boss, and if he hadn't been kind enough to tell me the truth, I wouldn't have known that Emily Carter was a major shareholder in our corporation. Every time I was targeted at the corporation, she was the one behind it. I thought it was strange. As a top salesman, I was usually kind and always treated everyone well. But it was one thing for my colleagues to dislike me, but even my boss seemed to dislike me and made things difficult for me. So hateful, yet he wouldn't fire me. It turned out that Emily Carter was afraid I would take a liking to another girl at the corporation, so she bribed the entire corporation to target me, turning me into a loner so I would revolve around her alone. It's ridiculous that I actually thought it was my problem, carefully remembered everyone's preferences in the corporation, and cautiously tried to please everyone, just hoping to fit in. I composed myself, looking at Kevin Foster standing beside her, wearing the same wedding attire. It was ironic. Someone so afraid of being betrayed was openly betraying me. The Emily Carter before me was still unaware that I knew, and was pretending to call the secretary, acting like she was standing up for me. I was exhausted and waved my hand, refusing, "Forget it, it's all in the past." Seeing that I didn't plan to pursue the matter, Emily Carter hung up the phone, took my hand, and comforted me. Honey, don't be discouraged. Even though you're being blacklisted by the entire industry and no corporation dares to hire you, our corporation wants you. I've already arranged for you to be the vice president of the company in our own corporation, and the office is right next to mine. Come to work with me tomorrow. I was already unhappy that you were working outside, always working overtime, and being treated unfairly. It's better to work in our own corporation, where you can cook for me every day and spend time together. Listening to the future she had arranged for me, I coldly curled my lips. That's not what she used to say. I had submitted my resume to her family's corporation a long time ago. I met the standards, but Emily Carter used her power to reject me one by one. Her reason was that I was her husband, and if I joined the corporation, it would be easy for people to spread rumors and accuse her of being unfair. At that time, I believed her lies and went to an interview at other corporations. Until recently, when I brought her dessert and ran into her and Kevin Foster laughing and eating together in the corporation cafeteria, wiping the corners of each other's mouths. Colleagues at the corporation told me that Emily Carter and Kevin Foster were a couple and that everyone was talking about how talented and beautiful they were together. Only then did I realize that Emily Carter had two boyfriends. One was Kevin Foster, whom she brought out for show, and the other was me, whom she hid at home. But a love triangle was too crowded, and I just wanted to leave. Seeing me distracted, Emily Carter tightened her grip on my hand, waking me up. If you don't refuse, then it's settled. Hearing her invitation, I recalled my boss's advice when I left. Emily Carter's family's industry in the States is too extensive. If she wants to blacklist me, no small corporation will dare to hire me. If I want to escape her, I can only go overseas and start over. Thinking of this, I lowered my eyes and refused. I want to rest for a while and not look for a job for now. Emily Carter was stunned for a moment and didn't force it. You've been tired lately. It's good to rest for a while. When I'm done with this, I'll spend more time at home with you. I didn't respond. She didn't know that I was already preparing to leave her and go overseas, and I didn't want to have a future with her anymore. Mr. Carter snorted coldly, sneering, "You're not a child anymore. So much for being hit so hard you're half dead, embarrassing." Emily Carter took my arm, smiling, "Those who are loved can always be children, Ethan Shaw, you don't have to be strong, I will always be your backer." I suppressed my disgust and nodded perfunctorily. Seeing our hands clasped together, Kevin Foster reminded Emily Carter with displeasure, "It's almost time, we should consummate the marriage." Emily Carter glanced at me a few times, hesitating. "Is that necessary?" Kevin Foster's eyes reddened as he said to me, "Ethan Shaw, this is wedding tradition, you wouldn't mind, right? I promise I won't do anything. If you're worried, you can move a chair and listen at the door." Asking me, her boyfriend, to make a scene at his girlfriend's consummation with another man? Is that something a person could think of? If it were before, I would have jumped up and punched him long ago. But now, I wasn't planning on being with Emily Carter anymore, so naturally, I didn't care. I said indifferently, "No need, do whatever you want." Seeing my perfunctory attitude, Emily Carter was very dissatisfied and questioned me, "You're not angry that I'm sharing a room with another man? Don't you love me?" I raised my eyebrows without saying a word. Before, I would be jealous and make trouble over her and Kevin Foster. Shed me for being petty and ruined my career with her own hands. Now that I was doing as she wished, she was still unhappy. I was too lazy to guess her thoughts and said casually, "I'm just very confident in you. Go ahead, I know this is just going through the motions." Hearing this, Emily Carter was relieved. She made many promises to me, saying that she would make it up to me later. Before she could finish speaking, Kevin Foster impatiently pulled her into the honeymoon suite. As the door closed, Kevin Foster's provocative text message arrived as scheduled, "Ethan Shaw, Emily is mine, you've lost." I turned off my phone, ignored my in-laws, who were picking on me, and went straight back to my room. The reason I came back was to get my ID card and other documents. Emily Carter was extremely controlling. To restrict my travel, my ID card, passport, and bank cards were locked in her safe. When the noise outside subsided, I squatted down and used my lockpicking skills to force it open. Inside were all of Emily Carter's assets. I only took out my passport and ID card. The door suddenly opened. Emily Carter, wearing pajamas, barged in and asked me with a cold face, "Honey, where are you going with the passport?" My heart suddenly skipped a beat. How did Emily Carter come so quickly? Were there security cameras in the house? I remembered once when I went on a business trip and forgot to tell her, and my phone was on silent, so I didn't receive her messages. She got angry and dragged me back, imprisoning me at home for a month. Once she found out I was running away, I had no doubt she would lock me up for life. I quickly took her passport and ID card as well, pretending to be angry and taking the initiative, asking, "What do you think? What do you mean by booking plane tickets and hotels overseas with him? Are you planning to go on a honeymoon with him behind my back?" Being questioned like this, Emily Carter seemed flustered. She put down her suspicion and hurriedly explained, "I just found out too. Kevin Foster must have booked it without my knowledge. I clearly warned him that my heart only belongs to you, telling him not to fantasize, but he still took it upon himself. Give me back the passport. I promise I won't go anywhere." As she spoke, she regretted not being able to travel with Kevin Foster, and she tiptoed to snatch the things from my hand. I took a step back, dodging her action, and stuffed everything into my pocket. "I don't believe you. I'll keep the documents for now. When you break up with Kevin Foster, I'll go on a honeymoon with you." Emily Carter was still unwilling, and I said angrily, "Aren't you going to consummate the marriage with Kevin Foster? What are you doing here?" Seeing me jealous and angry, Emily Carter finally compromised and stopped trying to snatch them. "I know you're feeling wronged, okay? I'll do whatever you want. I'll stay with you today and won't go anywhere, okay?" My face remained unchanged, but I felt a little annoyed. I was afraid of complications and didn't want to be in the same room with her. Just as I was thinking about a solution, Kevin Foster rushed in angrily, pointing at me and scolding, "So that's how it is, Ethan Shaw. I was wondering why you agreed so easily. You were using tricks to keep Emily Carter. You're breaking your word, you shameless thing." I pretended to throw a punch at his face, making his nose bleed. "You're the shameless one." Seeing the blood, Kevin Foster immediately made a fuss. "You dare to hit me?" Emily Carter was immediately overwhelmed, pulling Kevin Foster and comforting him for a long time. After Kevin Foster barely calmed down, she turned back and carefully wiped the blood from my hand. "I have to break my promise and go with Kevin Foster. Who told you to impulsively hurt him?" I pretended to be dissatisfied and compromised. After they both left, I breathed a sigh of relief. I put away the passport. The night passed peacefully. The next day, I got up early, prepared breakfast as usual, and obediently listened to her parents' lectures. Emily Carter didn't notice anything unusual about me. When she left, I put a coat on her and watched her and Kevin Foster leave. After she left completely, I made an excuse to go out and buy things, wandered around the mall, and accidentally found that Emily Carter didn't send anyone to follow me this time. It seemed she was having too much fun with Kevin Foster and forgot. I was overjoyed and was about to rush to the airport when Emily Carter sent me a location. "Honey, I can't get used to the wine here, please bring the treasured wine from home." I didn't want to go, but I was afraid that she would find out at a critical moment, leading to failure, so I did as she said. When I arrived at the entrance of the private booth carrying the wine, just as I was about to push the door open, I suddenly heard the conversation inside. "Emily, you make us humiliate Ethan Shaw every day. Looking at his pitiful appearance, we can't bear it anymore." The voice was very familiar. It was Emily Carter's close girlfriend. In the past, her girlfriends had humiliated me in every way, forcing me to drink and subjecting me to personal insults, and countless other kinds of bullying. I originally thought they felt I wasn't good enough for Emily Carter and disliked me for being poor, which was why they did it. I never thought that these were all Emily Carter's arrangements. After a burst of laughter inside, Emily Carter's pleading voice followed, "Good girlfriends, please help, just for my happiness. Only when he suffers setbacks outside, and I protect and comfort him, will he know how good I am. Otherwise, he might be seduced by some little outside." Her girlfriend asked her in confusion, "I don't understand, you love him so much, why don't you marry him?" Emily Carter sighed softly, regretting, "The person I love the most is him, but how can people of our class put love first? No matter his status or education, he is not worthy of me, so my husband can only be Kevin Foster. But I can't let him go, so I can only do this. It's hard for me, too." I didn't want to listen anymore. Just as I was about to leave, the phone in my pocket vibrated, and Kevin Foster sent a message taunting me. "See, you're not worthy of Emily Carter at all. Let me tell you, I'm not sick at all. She just thinks you're not good enough for her. The damsel in distress thing, it's all fake. The storms you're facing outside are all created by her. Let me tell you another truth. Your mother only had a minor pneumonia. She could have been cured with some medicine, but to get you hooked, she forged your mother's cancer medical records, leaving you with no way to get help. Later, she was afraid you would have support and wouldn't put her first, so she bribed the doctor, didn't treat her, and deliberately dragged your mother to death. You still treat her as your savior. How pitiful! If your mother knew you fell in love with her enemy, she would be very disappointed in you." Seeing this message, I no longer remain calm. My first meeting with Emily Carter was when my mother needed money for treatment, and she generously helped and arranged for my mother to be in a luxury ward in her private hospital. Although my mother later passed away, cancer is difficult to cure, so I didn't think much of it and was grateful that Emily Carter let my mother leave without regret, which is why I agreed to be with her. Because of this, for so many years, I had been tolerant and compromising with her because of this favor. But I never thought that this was a scam from the beginning, that the benefactor became the enemy, and my mother died because of me. I felt powerless and put the wine bottle by the door. I left quickly and threw my phone into the trash can at the door. After completely leaving the range of the security cameras, I took out the newly prepared phone and phone card, hailed a taxi to the airport, bought a plane ticket on the spot, and boarded the plane. "Emily Carter, so as not to embarrass you, I will quit on my own, and we will never meet again." Emily Carter, who was drinking in the private booth, suddenly felt a little panicked. She walked out of the private booth, wanting to get some fresh air, but when she saw the familiar wine at the door, she froze. Emily Carter curiously picked up the wine and asked a passing waiter, "Who delivered this wine?" Just as the waiter was about to speak, Kevin Foster walked out of the private booth, put his arm around Emily Carter's shoulder, and smiled. "I saw you didn't drink much, so I could tell you didn't like it, so I asked someone to get it from your house." Emily Carter breathed a sigh of relief. I thought Ethan had come. It seems we can't be so talkative in the future. If he finds out what I've done, I'm afraid we won't have a chance anymore. Her girlfriend said with a smile, "Emily, you're too nervous. Let alone whether he knows or not, even if he does, how could he bear to leave you, a rich girl?" Others EC. Hode, that's right, being with you is his fortune. He doesn't know how to be grateful, and he still makes you feel so uneasy. At this time, Emily Carter couldn't calm down listening to others' words, she just drank her wine in silence. Feeling the familiar taste, her mind was filled with memories of being with me. Seeing her distracted, everyone didn't bother her too much. Only Kevin Foster, holding a glass, came to Emily Carter's side. "Everyone has finally gathered, so stop playing on your phone." Emily Carter was holding her phone and sending me a message, asking what I was doing. Hearing this, she put her phone on the screen and chatted with everyone. But she was absent-minded, often pressing the phone screen, waiting for my reply. Usually, I would reply to her messages in seconds, but now she saw that I hadn't replied for 10 minutes, and she was very uneasy. She immediately got up and left her seat, put on her coat, and prepared to leave with her handbag. Her girlfriend raised her hand to stop her. "Emily, play a little longer, it's still early, why are you in such a hurry to go back?" Emily Carter smiled and waved her phone, barely squeezing out a smile. "No, my husband hasn't replied to my message in seconds, so he must be angry. I have to go back and coax him." Seeing this, Kevin Foster grabbed Emily Carter's arm, his eyes instantly turning red. "You only care about Ethan Shaw, what about me? Don't forget, I'm the husband who had a wedding with you." Emily Carter impatiently shook off Kevin Foster's hand. In the past, she would have considered Kevin Foster's face and protected him. Now, she was only thinking about me not replying to her message, and she couldn't bother acting anymore, saying coldly, "Kevin Foster, don't forget, our marriage is just a business alliance. The only person I love is Ethan Shaw, don't fantasize about my feelings." As soon as these heartless words came out, the room fell silent. A trace of hurt flashed in Kevin Foster's eyes. And seeing Emily Carter's impatient expression, fearing that this relationship would fade away, he explained in a panic, "I said the wrong thing, I'll drive you home now." Emily Carter frowned slightly, hesitating. Ethan is already disgusted with you and me, and if I bring you along, I'm afraid he will be even more unhappy. Kevin Foster showed a bitter smile. Emily, I understand men better than you. Love will slowly wear off in the long run, only when I constantly appear, bringing him a sense of crisis, will he love you more and more. Haven't you noticed that he has become more jealous since I appeared? Emily Carter was struggling, and suddenly thought of me hiding the passport last night. Secretly hiding things, just not wanting her and Kevin Foster to go on a honeymoon. That kind of twisted love was something she had never seen before. Emily Carter felt a dark pleasure, thinking that his words made sense, so she didn't refuse. Kevin Foster drove the car. Emily Carter looked at the scenery along the way, and from time to time, instructed Kevin Foster to pull over. She got out of the car to buy me flowers and food. She thought that if I saw these things, I would be very happy. After all, we had been in love for so many years, and she had always done this. Once she made me unhappy, she would buy my favorite food and coax me with sweet words, and even the biggest disputes would stop. Mom and Dad, I'm back. Where's Ethan? As soon as Emily Carter entered the house, she looked around for me. Mr. Carter sat on the sofa, reading a book with reading glasses, and snorted coldly when he heard this. He disappeared early in the morning. I don't know where he went to slack off. No one to pour me tea and water. Kevin Foster smiled and leaned forward. Dad, let me do it. As soon as his hand touched the teapot, Mr. Carter quickly waved his hand. Kevin, these are things servants do. How can I let you touch them? When you have time, take Emily out for a walk and cultivate your relationship. Listening to Kevin Foster nodding repeatedly in response, smiling, Emily Carter heavily placed the things in her hand on the table, unable to help but roll her eyes. Dad, why is Ethan unwilling to stay by your side? It's because you always treat him like a servant. I have agreed to your request and had a marriage alliance with the Foster family. If you continue to target Ethan like this, I will cancel the wedding. Mr. and Mrs. Carter immediately shut their mouths and stopped saying anything. Emily Carter didn't care about them anymore and looked around for me. But no matter who she asked, she was told that they hadn't seen me. Emily Carter's heart was always panicking. She returned to her room and saw that my clothes and jewelry were still there, and hadn't been moved. It seemed that I hadn't run away, and she felt a little more at ease. She was also a little annoyed. She thought that after suffering such a big blow, I would be depressed at home for a few days. Just like when my mother had just passed away, I had stayed in my room for a whole month, and wouldn't even leave. Plus, the person sent to follow me just happened to have something to ask for leave, so she didn't arrange for anyone else. Who knew that after not watching me for a while, I would disappear? She thought that she would never let this happen again in the future. Whenever she couldn't find me, she was always particularly upset. Helpless, she could only check the security camera in the house. Soon, she found my figure. When she saw me carrying that bottle of wine in my hand, a thunderbolt struck her mind. She grabbed Kevin Foster's collar, her eyes full of anger. Kevin Foster, how dare you lie to me? The person who took the wine outside the private booth was me. Emily Carter didn't know if I had eavesdropped or how much I had overheard. At this moment, she could only feel at ease if she found me. Kevin Foster was also a little stunned. He didn't expect me to play the ice appearance card, causing him to be scolded. Seeing Emily Carter's increasingly distant attitude, Kevin Foster panicked and hurriedly explained, Emily, you misunderstood me, I didn't know anything. I did ask someone to send the wine, but I didn't expect Ethan Shaw to come in person. Emily Carter's sharp eyes swept over him. Is that so? Then, who did you tell to send the wine? Show me the chat history? Kevin Foster panicked and was about to take out his phone to search. Emily Carter directly interrupted him. Okay, you know the truth, so stop pretending in front of me. Besides, you don't understand Ethan at all. If I didn't send him a message myself, no matter who said it, he wouldn't believe it, let alone foolishly run to the restaurant to deliver the wine. Having been together for so many years, she knew my personality best. So she knew very well that Kevin Foster must have used her phone to send me a message for me to deliver the wine. If it were just a message from someone else, I would have called her to confirm it again. Seeing that he couldn't hide it anymore, and Kevin Foster was about to open his mouth to explain and get away with it, Emily Carter suddenly interrupted him, warning, don't think I don't understand your little thoughts. I advise you to put them away first, and I'll settle the score with you properly after I find Ethan." Kevin Foster immediately shut his mouth. Emily Carter immediately rushed to the restaurant to check the security camera, and only then did she know that I had been eavesdropping at the door for a long time. She was completely unable to calm down and frantically called me nonstop, but no one answered. Just when she was completely flustered, the phone finally went through. Emily Carter immediately breathed a sigh of relief, her eyes filled with tears, and she couldn't help but choke out, "Ethan Shaw, where are you hiding? If you disappear without a word next time, I'll never talk to you again." Just as she didn't know how to ask me if I had heard her conversation with her girlfriends, a female voice came from the other end of the phone. "Hello, may I ask?" As soon as the other person's voice came out, Emily Carter's face turned cold, and she questioned, "Who are you? Why is my husband's phone in your hand? Let him answer the phone." After Emily Carter finished speaking in a barrage, the other person finally had a chance to speak. "Miss, you misunderstood. I picked up this phone in the trash can." Just as Emily Carter was about to say that she didn't believe it, suspecting that the other person had stolen the phone and was planning to call the police, the security guard found another security camera related to me, and Emily Carter personally saw me throw away the phone, and my figure disappeared from the security camera's view. She stopped her intention to scold, and asked the other person where they were, and immediately rushed over. After getting the phone, Emily Carter hurriedly turned it on. She was about to check my whereabouts, but when she opened the message page, she saw Kevin Foster's message at the very top. Emily Carter opened it as if possessed, and her face turned pale. She rushed to Kevin Foster and slapped him directly. "Kevin Foster, how dare you tell Ethan about this? Don't you want to live anymore?" Emily Carter regretted it very much. She had just made a slip of the tongue one time, and he had overheard it. Afterwards, she had repeatedly warned Kevin Foster, and Kevin Foster had repeatedly assured her. Little did I know, he still let the secret slip. Kevin Foster was secretly pleased, knowing that after I learned the truth, there was no way I could be with Emily Carter. Seeing Emily Carter unhappy, he had no choice but to apologize repeatedly, saying he knew he was wrong and would bring me back. Emily Carter burst into tears and slapped him a few times before stopping, staring at him coldly. "You better do what you say and bring Ethan Shaw back, otherwise say the cooperation between our two families is off, and I never want to see you again." Kevin Foster thought Emily Carter would just be sad for a while and get over it soon, but he didn't expect her to be so heartless. His face immediately darkened, and he questioned, "Emily Carter, are you crazy? Do you know how much money this will cost both families?" Emily Carter felt a faint sense of madness at this moment, and smiled coldly. "If you can't find him, I'll kill you." "I mean it." Kevin Foster felt a chill run from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. He didn't dare to call Emily Carter's bluff and could only go all out to find me. As for me, I had already started overseas, finding a new corporation to work for. I hadn't forgotten my mother's revenge and was constantly asking friends in the States to investigate and gather evidence. It wasn't just as simple as leaving Emily Carter. I also wanted to bring her to justice and make her pay the price for what she had done. I lived very comfortably without Emily Carter. But my peaceful days didn't last long. One day on my way home from work, I ran into Emily Carter and Kevin Foster, who had come to find me. Emily Carter was the same as before, only thinner. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, opened her arms, and was about to throw herself into my arms. "Ethan, I finally found you." I took a few steps back, and she missed. Emily Carter looked at me in disbelief, tears welling up in her eyes. "Ethan, I don't understand. I love you so much. Why did you run? Why are you hiding from me? Don't you love me anymore?" Listening to her questions, the fire I had suppressed in my heart finally rose. I roared back at her, "Emily Carter, how dare you say you love me? Don't think I don't know. Your girlfriends always say bad things about me, bully me, and you're the one behind it all. You had them replace my milk with white paint, watching me make a fool of myself, and then pretending to come to the rescue. You disgust me so much." Hearing this, a tear fell from Emily Carter's eye. "Ethan, it's all because I love you too much. I just want you to be by my side. I want to have your love all to myself." The more I listened, the more irritated I became. Facing her constant pressure, I kept retreating. "Love me? That's laughable. You deliberately had your in-laws leak my company's secrets using my account, causing me to be blacklisted throughout the industry just so I would be in a state of anxiety and wouldn't disturb your wedding with Kevin Foster? Now that you're with Kevin Foster, why bother pestering me? This woman was too crazy. Her thoughts were too hard to guess. I didn't understand what she wanted by doing all this. No, it's not like that. Emily Carter waved her hands frantically, explaining anxiously, "It's true that I was the one who got you blacklisted, but I didn't do it because I was afraid you would disturb the wedding. I knew the wedding was unfair to you, so I wanted to make it up to you, but you were already so stable at the corporation, there was no way you would come to my corporation. That's why I resorted to this tactic, so that when you had no other choice, you would listen to my arrangements and come to my side. I had already planned it all out for you. You're just a director at that lousy corporation, but if you come work for me, I'll start you off as vice president of the company, and your future will be limitless." Ethan, I'm doing all this for your good. Can't you put yourself in my shoes for once? And understand my difficulties? She always liked to arrange everything for me. My daily outfits, every meal, even small things like the color and style of the keyboard, she had to control. I used to think it was just one of her little quirks and didn't take it to heart, indulging her. But I didn't expect that there was a pattern to it all along. Someone who tightly controlled me in small matters would never let go in big matters. What's more, she killed my mother to better control me. I couldn't hold back any longer and snorted, "You killed my mother for my good, too?" This time, Emily Carter was silent. The image of my mother appeared in my mind, and my tone became even colder. "You had many ways to get close to me. Why did you bribe the doctor to lie about her having a serious illness? And then deliberately have the doctor not treat her, dragging her to her death?" Even though 7 years had passed, I still couldn't forget how panicked I was when my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. My father passed away early, and my mother had worked hard to raise me. I had just settled into a stable job and brought her back from our hometown, but she fell ill before she could enjoy a few good days. I will never forget how my mother lay in bed, holding my hand, and said gently, "Child, let's not treat it anymore. Let's go home." The moment she gave up her life was as casual as asking what to have for lunch. But I understood that she was just afraid of becoming a burden to me. But I just wanted her to live. I bent over and visited relatives and friends one by one, borrowing from all of them, but the cost was still not enough. That was when Emily Carter appeared. She took care of all my mother's hospital expenses and even found the best doctors to save my mother. At that moment, she was like a god appearing in my life. But I didn't understand until I knew the truth. She was no god, but a devil in God's clothing. From the moment I met her, all my suffering and setbacks stemmed from her. Facing my desperate questioning, Emily Carter was silent for a long time before saying in confusion, "Ethan, I gave you a life of luxury and endless money, and all you lost was a mom. Many people would love to sacrifice their parents, sacrifice everything, to climb up to me. You got everything, why are you still not satisfied?" She showed no remorse and didn't even think she had done anything wrong. I knew that it was useless to say anything more to someone as stubborn as her. Since she thought she was right, she let the law decide everything. Seeing me so sullen, Emily Carter rarely compromised. "Okay, if you don't like it, then I'll try to change these bad habits." I looked at her coldly. "Emily Carter, there's no possibility of us anymore." Emily Carter's eyes reddened, and she took out a marriage license from her bag. "But we're married. Don't think you can get rid of me so easily." I smiled. "You're so capable, didn't you notice that this marriage license is fake?" Emily Carter was stunned. Before she and Kevin Foster got married, she took me to get a marriage license to stabilize me. But she didn't know that I already knew about her relationship with Kevin Foster, so I didn't go with her to get a marriage license, but instead asked someone to get 2 fake ones. Emily Carter opened her mouth wide, losing all her bargaining chips. She looked at me in disbelief. "You knew everything so early?" I shook my head. "I just went to your corporation and learned that you and Kevin Foster were a couple." I took the initiative to leave. On the street, Emily Carter shook her head frantically. "Ethan, if you care about my relationship with Kevin Foster, I can explain. He and I are just childhood friends. There's nothing else going on. The reason I'm with him is just to have a marriage alliance with the Foster family. If it weren't for that, my in-laws wouldn't have agreed to you and me continuing. If you mind my relationship with him, I can break it off and never see him again." Kevin Foster's face turned pale. "Emily Carter, you." I raised my hand to interrupt. "It's not necessary. I don't care what kind of relationship you and Kevin Foster have. There's no possibility of us anymore." Emily Carter had never seen me so heartless before, and panicked completely. "No, I don't want to break up with you. If you don't want to go back to the States, I can stay Air with you. My corporation can expand overseas. Then you can come to the corporation to help me. We'll work hard together, grow together. Ethan Shaw, I want to be with you for all eternity." I looked at the police officers who were coming up behind her and laughed. "Emily Carter, you should face the consequences of your actions first before thinking about anything else." Emily Carter was still confused when the police officers took her away. She didn't know that I had already posted everything she had done to me and my mother online, including the recording of this conversation. And I had already called the police. Now, she had aroused public outcry and would be forcibly deported back to the United States to face legal sanctions. Emily Carter still wanted to say something to me, but she and Kevin Foster were both escorted into the police car. Watching the police car disappear before my eyes, my mood suddenly became cheerful. I had avenged my mother and completely broken free from Emily Carter. Things were slowly getting better. And back in the States, after investigation and sentencing, Emily Carter and the doctor were both imprisoned and received their due punishment.